So this is exactly what decoding chakras. Of course, we had done the chakras. Now we are going to the Sahasra chakra and the Agya chakra. So that's the topic of today. Now let's compare these two chakras. One is Agya chakra, which has Hum and Ksham are those two main petals there, and Hung, Kshang, and here Om there is like Sahasra chakra, which is Sahasra petals. Now when you go to uh, the alphabet, O A E E U U A I O Au Ang Aha. So the Ang is Hung here in Kshang, right? So the Anuswar, this Bindu is coming from here and here. So this particular Om chanting, O and become Om, right? And over here, Om, one more matra. This is O and this is Au. Au and becomes Om, which means more power. Whenever you have this Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai. Shruti ji will know when she is doing the Vedic chanting. This aha, that Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. He is not he, it is this plus something, right? He, and on top of it, this particular thing happened. Aha. That is Visarga. Visarga means that type of Visarga, right? So, whenever you have this Visarga, that has tremendous power. When you exhale, a lot of power in it. Your entire being is settled down from all the turbulence because of this thing. So this particular chanting or Om chanting will free you from self-imposed limitations due to conditioning, freeing you to live from the perspective of higher self. However, Om will bring you into alignment with a higher self. From here, the other ladder. They some people say I have not had experience that there is from this Sahasra chakra and beyond there are even higher realms, and that is the alignment they are talking about. And I have not experienced, so I cannot tell you more about it. I'll just tell you what is out there. So journey doesn't stop at Sahasra; it actually starts there. The real spiritual journey starts at Sahasra chakra, which is in alignment with your higher self, your life path, and the absolute. It is Babaji, Sadguru, uh, Ramakrishna Paramans. Those are those people who have up to here is your sadhana. After that, it is all kripa and grace, and that is all you have to wait to have make it happen. There is no effort after this. This is as much as possible. You could do this much. So where eagles dare, those are the eagles dare, right? Significance of Bij mantra and the start of subjective experience. What is a mantra? Mana trayate iti mantra. Mana Mananat trayate iti mantra. Mananat means that sustained repetition or contemplation. And trayate means protects or releases. The sustained repetition or contemplation of that which protects, releases us from all the misery is called mantra. Misery is in duality, only in duality. Wherever there is duality, it is confirmed misery. As somebody said, the other is always a problem. Other means, which means you have already said you are, right? So whenever you are identified with your body, then you become I, and then the other fellow becomes other, and that is so. Why is he having this, and why am I not having this? That is the start of the misery. So I, me, and mine is duality, and from how do you get out of that? So that is the power of mantra is to first to get that identification going away from you. So that sustained repetition of some mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Rang Ramayana, Om, 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 whichever, whatever is sustained repetition of that protects, releases from the misery, which means misery means duality. Why is mantra chanting important? It prepares the apparatus to seek, understand, and comprehend higher order of knowledge and wisdom. Now, how uh, this was this was the example my mother gave me. Okay, so what happened was I said, why should I chant mantra? Shruti ji, you can always, the youngsters will always ask this question, and I'm 100% sure you have answered in your own creative way. But my mother answered me, I said, listen, and there is always some kind of a sonication method, which means ultrasound. The jewelers always keep your jewelry in that box, which is filled with water, and then they put the ultrasound. So that ultrasound sonicates the entire junk and gets down, and that is exactly how this mantra happens. He said she one day she said that remember that Swami Ram Swami Samartha Ramdas Swami, who was Shivaji's guru. He used to go for bhiksha and he used to ask for can bhavatu bhikshande. So one lady used to come. She was very devout. She used to come with nice food or whatever that she had, and with extreme respect and love she used to offer. And she would always ask Swami, please tell me something that I can use it for my own growth because I have no, I'm not studied anything. I don't know Akshar. I don't know anything about that. So can you tell us something? I said, oh, sure, I will tell. So he used to tell, and great things happened in her life. She used to be very nice with husband. Her husband started to be very nice with her. Everybody was happy in the family, and their farming business grew, and they become wealthy. They had few more cows and few more buffaloes and few more ox, and several things happened. There was a jealous lady in next door. So she would say that how is it happening to you like this? So she said it is all Swami's kripa. It is all um, his grace. So he said one day, other day, she waited outside and said, when Swami Ramdas was going towards her house, he said, why don't you come to my house and give me some same knowledge as you always give to my neighbor here who never tells me anything. And she started complaining about her neighbor all the time. He said, okay, go ahead and get me some food. So she went inside and Ramdas Swami went to the one of the gutter close by, dirty nala actually, and he started washing his kamandalu. And then the lady came. She said, "Why are you washing your kamandalu in the dirty water? Don't you think? Don't you know that I am bringing freshly prepared basmati rice, smelling so nice in your gutter washed kamandalu? How can it be possible?" He said, "That's exactly what the idea was. The idea is." You want some good stuff to put in your head, which is all full of garbage. If you cannot put your eyes in uh, this kamandalu, how do you expect me to put such profound knowledge into your head, which is full of junk and jealousy and hatred towards your neighbor? And she understood that. So that is exactly what my mother explained to me, and during that time, and she said, sonication example and this Ra, Swami Ramdas. So Spandan in Yajurved chanting, they said that's a lot of spandana or intonation vibration which rewires our brain. And this particular aspect of this mantra chanting, I will talk later on. And a very elaborate Yajurved chanting mantra has been done scientifically proven what all brain region each actually does the job really. It's an intense paper, so which I'll discuss some other time in a very simple manner. So the gong in the temple sonicates, figuratively speaking, our apparatus called the brain. When you and as I told you earlier also, the gong from the main entrance to all the way into the garbhagriha, there is an increasing in the frequency. And that is exactly how the stotram and the mantras basically rewires our brain and makes us ready. We actually could use more parts, several other more sort of, uh, sleeping parts in the brain, to better way, in a much better way. So what happens in, so this is exactly what I had. I think I have shown you this, but nonetheless, it's good to know more. So what happens is this is low frequency where that's the kind. Then it is high, medium frequency, the smaller ones, and the high frequency is a really small one, and which is in Pujari's hand, and this is Hanumanji here. So Garbhagriha is always some people say Garbhagriha is always a very small room, not a huge big room. Why? Because that room has a serious vibration going, and it has a capture capacity also to get higher vibrations in that zone. Humans have speech, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda developed as a result of that. Aum is also one of them, and that is coming from Shivji's Damru. That is exactly the essence of Kailash Mansarovar, that people say that they can hear this at deep night. They can wake up or 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night, and they can hear this sound so clearly over there. How can you use Om, the triplet code of our well-being and evolution? Now there is a triplet code in molecular biology, and this particular thing was discovered by Hargobind Khurana in MIT, and they have figured out that these triplet codes can code for each amino acid. Each triplet code consists of codon, and each codon codes for one amino acid. So from the DNA to RNA to protein, this is very, very important how the triplet code creates things. So this is how the Om at different intonations, if you have higher intonations at A or O, Ao, then you have a different what you call manifestations. If you want a higher manifestation, this is the one. If you want a uh, Agya Chakra level of manifestation, then it's a different one. This the more M is pronounced, better the manifestation, they call it, which means more reveling into non-duality. That's exactly what means. Ah is ah, yeah, yeah, just from the throat it is coming, right, and your mouth is opened completely. Now that is duality. When the lips are apart from each other, that is duality. Which is partial. Non-duality and some portion is duality. Is non-dual. So this is what the letters of Sanskrit alphabet allow the human mind to interface with the primary energies of cosmic intelligence and receives its deeper insight. So it actually, this is coming from one of the very profound, I would say, Sanskrit scholar who was also a um, linguist. So that's what he said. That he said that, and he is from United States actually. The letters of Sanskrit alphabet allow the human mind to interface with the primary energies of cosmic intelligence and receives its deeper insight. Every letter is powerful in. Now let's talk about the vowels. A, A, U, A, O, Ah. Right? Each type of the sound has spiritual and yogic implications. Vowel represents consciousness, spirit, and Shiva principle. Shiva Tattva, they call it, right? And vowels represents sound and vibration, continuous, independent, and enduring in their resonance. You can take any vowel and intone it indefinitely, right? Now, many Sanskrits seed mantra like Om and Aim. Oh my goodness, there is a whole lot of mantra shastra. Is Aing, Om, Hmm, Hring, Hrum, all those, these different are there. I am and Om are vowels predominant for this reason. They allow energy to open and expand and ascend to a higher level. This is the power of these mantras. And consonant ya, ra, la, va, sha, sa, ksha, ha. Now, opposite in nature of vowel. These are opposite in nature of vowel. Consonant represents matter. That represents the let me tell you. That represents the consciousness principle, right? And this consonant represents the Prakriti, the Shakti principle. That is Shiva and this is Shakti. So without the consonant, there is no usefulness in vowel. And without the vowel, there is nothing. Consonant don't work anyway. So you cannot say a consonant without invoking the vowel anytime. If you say yeah, the is already there in here. Ra, is already, la, is already there. So some of these, whenever you say consonants, always there in the vowel also exists. Consonant serves to focus and focus the pure sound quality of the vowel. The sound quality of the vowel is enhanced actually by consonant into a particular format. It gives directionality to that. Consonants are constant contact based and require a vowel in order to express them. Without that, try pronouncing a word with consist of consonants only, it's not possible. It is not possible. Because whenever you say a consonant, vowel is already inbuilt in it. It is inherent in it. So while a consonants allow a definitive expression, they also create illusions of as sound become limited. While vowel represents eternal powers, consonants are forms which manifest in the limited field of time. Although they can reflect higher qualities. Now, four levels of speech. Vak. So, in Sant Gnaneshwar, there is a book in with me here somewhere. It is Amritanubhav. Amritanubhav. They talk about heavy duty Sant Gnaneshwar's thinking here. So I got this from there. So Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para, these are the different vak, which means levels of speeches. Vaikhari is audible speech. Madhyama is pranic speech. Pashyanti is illumined speech. And Para is transcendental speech, Turiya, which exists in deep sleep. Actually, beyond deep sleep, actually. And the one that is responsible for the chakras, responsible for these Vaikhari speech is throat, which means Swadhisthana, not Swadhisthana. What is that chakra name? Vishuddhi chakra. Vishuddhi chakra. And Madhyama is heart chakra, pranic speech. And Pashyanti speech is navel, illumined speech. And transcendental is the root chakra, absolute silence. Which is just this is the sequence. That's why root chakra activation is so very vital.
So,
And
sir, navel chakra, can we say Swadhisthana chakra or
yes,
the
yes, navel
Manipuri?
is Swadhisthana chakra. Yes, perfectly
Okay,
right. Perfectly
okay,
right.
thank you.
Yes, yes. And Vaikhari is deep waking state, Madhyama is a deep dream state, and Pashyanti is deep sleep state, and this is Samadhi state. So Ardhanarishwar, is is pran and speech intertwined? That's a question. Yes. Abhinav Gupta in Kashmir Shaivism talks about pran and speech. He is the master at Spandan, vibration. If there is anybody who is interested in vibrations per se, Kashmir Shaivism is going to be the basic text in coming 50 years time, which will be used by almost all the top notch scientists in the planet. Because if there is anything that will exist in the planet which is of value, will be only vibrations. And Kashmir Shaivism, and that to Abhinav Gupta from there, he is the master. Nobody can touch him in this. No one in the world has ever got to that level of understanding vibrations, just vibration. There's an entire science behind it. Oh, Prana is a masculine principle. It is formless consciousness sustained by prana. Being and consciousness sustained by prana communicates intentions, information, and life energies. Prana is the meaning behind speech. Prana is the speaker. Prana provides the impetus to speak, which means expression of inspiration. Speech is the feminine principle. Basis of form and matter. Name and form arise through speech. Speech is prana in action. Oh, note it down. Speech is prana in action. Speech is the sound created by prana and as it tries to express itself outwardly. So this is a Shakti Parvati principle. This is the Shiva principle, and speech is the instrument of prana. Without speech, prana has zero value. Remember, that's why the
Correct.
when our land, whatever the moon lander, when it reached the moon, when landed, that spot was called Shiva Shakti. Why? This is the reason. Speech expresses our prana. There is no way you can just do. You cannot say Ram alone. Sri Ram. Sri is embedded in Sitaji. So when she says Sri is the feminine principle, and then only Ram comes. Anyway, that means that we cannot forget the role of prana in mantra. The power of the breath and the greater vital energy behind it vitalizes the mantra. The prana is, remember I talked about the prana is not shwas. It is a prana, which means this throat, the respiratory apparatus is activated such that it makes all the five um, different physiological function active. Then only you can. Anybody who has a one of the prana, not one of the physiological functions not functioning properly, let's say, he cannot have a good speech. Similarly, mantras can work to hold and sustain our prana. Oh, this is powerful stuff. I mean, every line can be a seminar itself. Prana, we could say, is the spirit of mantra. Wow. Mantra in turn is the expression of prana. Whatever most engages our prana or vital energy become the main subject of our speech. Oh, this is. Have you ever seen somebody only talking about stock market all the time? Because that's where it's his entire subject of speech. The entire pran is and vital energy is concentrated in the subject. That's why he can talk only that. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Whatever we perceive through any of the different senses, we can express through speech. Five. See, all the five elements from all the five senses can be expressed through speech. That's why speech is so critical. Speech can relate what the eye sees, ear hears, nose smell, tongue tastes, and skin touches. All the senses express themselves through the power of speech. So speech is the only way. These are subservient to speech. All this uh, all the senses are subservient to speech. Speech is Shakti principle. And Shakti principle don't work without the prana, apart from which they are mute and incapable of articulating themselves. Ah, deep. This is deep stuff. Speech, therefore, is a guide for all the other senses. Through the control of speech, we can control all our senses. That's why they say you want to quiet your mind. Mind is the boss for all the senses. How do you control the mind? Indra. Indra is mind, Indriya is the senses, and the only way they say is yes, go to silence. That is why Raman Maharshi Through his control of speech, he can control all the senses. Now you see how this is intertwined into our sadhana. This means that mantras can help us master, energize, and harmonize all our senses. Once speech, right? Speech is mantra. And then way you can always harmonize this entire the turbulence caused by the senses of our mind. The mind is composed of thought, which means which are based on words and reflect our speech pattern. Thought itself is a subtle form of energy. Our thoughts are kind of internal conversation, our own mental talk. If we replace this mental speech with Beej mantra, we can transform the energy of our mind and hearts. This is this particular orange one is the most important. This is there we came up. All this was to get to this point. The higher speech of the mind is the basis of buddhi or high intellect intelligence in yoga. This higher speech of the mind, speech mantra related, is the basis for buddhi, which is prefrontal cortex area. This whole entire prefrontal cortex. We are just talking buddhi is prefrontal cortex, nothing else. Or higher intelligence in yoga. Higher intelligence means I can see things, feel things million miles away and still as if it is right now in front of me. That type of higher intelligence. Beyond AI, right? Not the artificial. This is real intelligence. These mantras are not just sounds, but the as as all as one of the five elements, but the primal sound vibration behind all the elements. Mantras are primal sound, as primal sound can change the nature of the mind down to the subconscious level. That's the power of mantra. Through mantra, the control of both the mind and the sense become power. Now, I will tell you how this whole thing is at the at the neuro anatomical level, where all this mantra chanting can how it shuts down. Actually, I'll just share one line. How mantra basically can reduce the noise created by the limbic system. Limbic system is the fear and stress con- uh, processing area, right? All the so limbic system is always threatened by anything, and how the limbic system layers in those neuronal layers in the limbic system is lessened thickness of that, whereas in the prefrontal cortex the thickness increases, which means more neurons are there, much more neurons and much more active neuronal interaction is going on. That's why in Alzheimer's brain, what happens? The brain shrinks, and the cortex is the first place where brain death starts to happen. Whereas when you do the mantra chanting, the cortex becomes even more vibrant, much more mm, billions of new neurons or new neuronal connections are made there. So mantra can open our inner senses and higher level of the mind that are otherwise very difficult to access. This is not easy. This is the deep stuff. This is a subject of inquiry and research. If there is anybody in MIT who thinks he is a good scientist, he should look up into this. The basis of Bij Mantra or seed syllable as O is to carry the divine, both manifest and unmanifest form. Oh, beautiful. Now this is the Bij, unmanifest to Bij Mantra, Bij to tree. Mantra is, what happens is, it is the bridge between manifest and unmanifest. So this is the Bij Mantra. When you say Bij, it is it 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 is in the center. It is a connecting link between unmanifest and manifest. Or Bij Mantra Yoga means yogic consciousness non-duality, and this is duality. So Bij Mantra gets you from the duality to non-duality. That is the power. Nikola Tesla says, he is one of the greatest scientists. I have tremendous respect for this guy. Beautiful man. but Edison destroyed him. That's why uh, he was not a politician. He was a pure scientist. He was actually he must be and he must be knowing Sanatan Dhara, or he must have read Abhinav Gupta. I'm 100% sure of that. If you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations. This is Nikola Tesla, unbelievable guy. Now, most people know what this equation means. E equals mc square, right? So, what happens is when the particle with mass m, rest mass m, travels with the speed of light, c is speed of light, it becomes energy. Or if we condense energy, it becomes particle. So this is how it is. This is solid, liquid, then the plasma, and then the fermionic condensates, and then the Bose-Einstein condensate, and then the pure energy. And this is the dark energy, which means absolute, absolute uh, beyond consciousness, I would say. So if this is what atomic bomb was. That is what uh, the one who made the bomb was Oppenheimer. This is exactly what he felt. He saw with the bomb happening. This once that happens, this particular thing is definitely going to happen, and that's why he just could not handle it. He became mad afterwards because he could not handle the thought. And Bose, Satyan Bose from Bose Institute in Calcutta was the one who said if you can condense this energy, that is the first Bose-Einstein condensate will happen and fermionic condensate will happen, plasma, gas, liquid and solid will. So this is the reverse is the manifestation process and this is unmanifestation process. And this dance is going on in the universe all the time. So the Sanskrit word A is pronounced in the back of the throat as in another. It vibrates the neck, lung, heart and the body, drawing the energy down and in. Ah is the long vowel of father, like when we say father, right? That's what it is. Is it okay to stop here or is it too much time? I think it's time to stop here. We'll talk about this little later, some other time.